Now on health care. 60 years ago today, Lyndon Johnson signed into law two of the most popular, successful, and life-saving programs in the history of America, Medicare and Medicaid. These programs provide health care and dignity for 134 million Americans. They're a lifeline. They're sacrosanct. But today, Medicare and Medicaid are facing their greatest threat because Donald Trump and congressional Republicans want to decimate these programs. The Republicans' big, ugly betrayal, their so-called BBB bill, codified the largest cut to Medicaid in history. Imagine calling a bill beautiful that cuts Medicaid more than any other bill has in the past. How cruel, how heartless, how much in a bubble are Republican friends not knowing what people go through to try and get decent health care? With over $1 trillion in health care cuts that will rip away health care from more than 15 million Americans, all to pay tax breaks to billionaires. So later this morning, I'll join my Democratic colleagues at a press conference to introduce legislation to reverse the devastating health care cuts in the big, ugly betrayal. Our bill is straightforward. It repeals the entire health care subtitle of the Republicans' bill and permanently extends the ACA premium tax credits that Republicans are letting expire. These tax credits will save Americans on the ACA hundreds, if not thousands, a year. If it's not passed as early as October, people are going to be paying a lot more for their health care. Why are Republicans allowing that to happen? This is real money, life-changing money that Americans will have to pay, and it means greater dignity to working people, and the money that they would have, if it weren't taken away, will mean greater dignity for working people so they can stay healthy and stay covered. And when Republicans cut people's health care, what they're really doing is assaulting working people's dignity just to help the ultra-rich. Now we know Republicans want to make their big, ugly betrayal seem less destructive, claiming it won't affect anyone until a few years down the line. That's just false. The Republican bill is already having an impact. From one end of the country to the other, hospitals and clinics are at the risk of closing, and some have already shut their doors in Maine, Nebraska, and other states. People in rural communities are worried they will have to travel even further to get health care. Health care premiums are going to start spiking as soon as next year. For many Americans, this legislation is quite literally a matter of life and death. Seniors, kids, people with disability, these are people who've relied on Medicare and Medicaid for several generations. It isn't too late for Republicans to reverse course, stop these disastrous cuts from taking effect, and save health care for millions of Americans. Democrats, meanwhile, will never, never stop fighting to fix our broken health care system and make health care easier to access, easier to navigate, easier to afford. I yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum.
The clerk will